the home page is literally the entry point for your visitors with your e-commerce brand. But unfortunately, 90% of e-commerce store owners, especially those running Google ads, kind of just disregard the homepage. And this is really one of the most worrisome things you can do for your e-commerce brand. And here's exactly why. Right now, I'm taking you inside a few different ad accounts. Some ad accounts, and by the way, this is Google Analytics, but some of these stores are actually stores under my Google Ads agency, Your Marketing, which if you're doing $30,000 or more every single month and you need just a little bit of extra help scaling to the next level with Google Ads, go onto my website at euromarketing.com and book a free call with me to see how we can make that happen. But right now, what I'm actually taking you is inside the behavior and then the behavior flow section, because I want to show you some multi-million-dollar brands and exactly how this layout, this flow looks for these brands. So this specific brand I'm looking at right now is actually a client's brand, and this brand since 2018 alone has done about $7 million in sales. That's right, $7 million in sales. I want to show you guys some of the most commonly looked at pages for this e-commerce brand. So right now, as you can see, a lot of data. Again, these numbers are not fully accurate because this section of Google Analytics, if you just fill it up with way too much data, it doesn't really portray the right numbers. But what I want to show you is the first section right here. This first kind of flow is for a specific product that obviously is a winning product for this brand. The second flow also for a specific product, because again, this brand does utilize a lot of Google ads. But here's the interesting thing. The third kind of box right here, this specific box, is actually for the home page. Hence why it just has that backward slash right there. And if we highlight the traffic that comes from this page, we can see that it goes from the main home page all the way down to these multiple pages. And then it basically goes down to the second interaction, third interaction, and so forth and so on. But the interesting thing was, again, if you notice, the third page, the third most went to page is the home page, not any other product page, the home page directly. Now, if you really kind of don't believe what I'm saying based off of that data, even though that brand right there has over $7 million worth of data, let's take you inside my own e-commerce brand that I run personally. I've been running this with Google Ads solely for the last 2.5 years, almost 3 years alone. And we're gonna look at the behavior flow to see if we can kind of see any similarities. So I'm gonna go back in January, which is when essentially I started this e-commerce brand, started running Google Ads with it, and we're gonna kind of just look at the overall data, get a general idea of if there are again any similarities or not. So now as it loads, we will again see a few numbers here, but it's not going to be fully accurate because again, Google Analytics and this section specifically doesn't fully portray the right numbers. But we should get a general idea of what was working the best, what was not working the best, and so forth. All right, so after about what seemed like 10 hours, Google Analytics finally kind of loaded this page up. And let's take a look at this section right here. So again, first product, obviously a very big winning product for me. Second product, also the page for a winning product. But the third one, this time again, it's the third. I don't know what it has to do with the home page being third all the time, but here, the third one, 35,000 visits. And again, this 35K, it's much more. I've had over 2 million visits. So I'm not really sure why it says only 35K or why the top most visited page only 71K, but nonetheless, still very impressive number right here. If we kind of highlight the traffic right there, we can see that about 666,000 right here was through the home page itself. And then that went on to maybe the cart page, maybe some other products, etc., etc. But again, a very big portion of this traffic went through my home page. And again, I wasn't running any kinds of ads, specifically Google ads, to the home page, but people still somehow found their way on the home page. So now, if you're trying to make sense of all of this, let me tell you why this happened. So essentially, there's multiple reasons why somebody might be going to your home page. They could have found your listing through organic results. They might have found your product through Google Shopping ads or Google search ads, and then decided at that time they didn't want to buy from you for whatever reason. And then they go back like 50 hours later, look at Google and type your brand name in, because again, your brand name also has some sort of significance to it, and then they end up on the home page that way. So regardless of which kind of pathway they go through, the end result is they're on your home page. So you clearly do not want to be just disregarding the homepage, because again, way too many e-commerce brands do this, and as a result, they mess things up. They mess their own conversion rates up. So talking about those brands that don't get this right, here is exactly what happens to them, and it might be happening with your brand as well. But number one, there just ends up being too much of a heavy reliance on first-time buyers. So those people that come onto your website, they're going to be first-time buyers, but if you don't optimize your homepage correctly, they're most likely going to be last-time buyers as well. That's usually what ends up happening. Number two, there is sort of no like progression with the scale. So you might find that you have hit this plateau where you just can't go through that and grow past that plateau for whatever reason it might be. Again, simple things like the homepage could be one reason why you're not able to grow, because again, the people that are coming from your ads, that are coming later, searching you up, whatever way they're coming through, your homepage is not appealing to them. You're losing tremendous amounts of sales. Number three, there are no raving fans for you in the long run. I mean, if you have a very bad homepage you just set up in like 2 seconds, obviously nobody's gonna really think of you as a trustworthy brand, let alone want to come back to your website again and again. I mean, who wants to see a horrible homepage like that? So these three main issues really cause sort of a dip in sales long term, and it can definitely start to weigh you down if you don't kind of resolve this. But what are the elements of a good homepage? What should you be focusing on? So number one, a good homepage should tell the customer that you are a brand selling X product. So replace this X with whatever. You're a brand selling healthcare product. You're a brand selling toilet paper products. You're a brand selling kids diaper products. Whatever it is, replace that X with a person or a customer, in this case, who goes on your homepage should within 2 seconds be able to say that. And by the way, in this video, I'm going to be going over multiple good examples and also one bad example. But that's essentially what a good homepage should have. Number two, it should give a general overview of what's inside. Think of this like as if you're reading a book, or a better way to think of it is if you're actually scouring for a book, you're trying to look for a new book to read. Most people, they will take a book, and at least the normal people, they will flip the book over and look at the back cover page. So I think that's what it's called, the back cover page. That's what they read to get an overview, an understanding of the book, what's it about, etc., etc. Same thing with your homepage. Your homepage is the cover page of your entire brand. So that's why you got to make sure it kind of conveys who you are. It needs to kind of give a good vibe to your customer, which brings me to point number three, which is your homepage should add any type of trust it can in the customer's eyes prior to them going on to any given product page, because you essentially want to win over the customer in the first view of you. So think of this as a first impression. Obviously, whatever first impression you have of any given individual you meet, that plays a very big important role, obviously, in what you think of them later on. So obviously, we want to do our best job of having the best kind of first impression possible, at least when it comes to our customers. But in addition to that, having a good homepage actually makes Google not want to suspend you, because let's think about it for a second. What does the average e-commerce store owner do? They come in and they put up a messy kind of homepage with no substance to it. Think Google is dumb. It's going to crawl through, it's going to read that, and it's not going to like it. So you have to understand that you want to add some trust inducing factors, like for Google suspension, I might even add like the contact us information on the homepage. Anything else that can tell Google you're an actual e-commerce brand, you're not here to play around, you're here to serve their customers the right way. But enough of that. Let's kind of look at real life examples of good homepages so you can kind of get an idea of what you should be mimicking yours. So number one example of a very good homepage of an e-commerce brand, which mostly uses Google Ads to get sales, is Inspire Uplift. Now, another reason why this is number one, not just because it's the best kind of e-commerce brand out there, but also because it's a full-on general store. And a lot of e-commerce store owners out there would like to have a variety of different products. So this should let you know how you should be displaying your homepage if you are kind of a similar layout like this brand right here. So with Inspire Uplift, right when we land, right at the top, we see a beautiful blue kind of a header with all of the necessary elements to it. So there's different collections. I clearly know that this brand doesn't just sell one kind of product like fashion or this thing right here. I don't even know what that is, but it also sells home and garden stuff, beauty and wellness, etc., etc. So that's really a good start with Inspire Uplift already right from landing on the homepage. If I don't know what Inspire Uplift is, I can within 2 seconds know that this is a brand that's like an Amazon brand, you could say. In addition, right below that, they actually put the trust inducing factors right at the top. this is sort of like their announcement bar where they say free shipping, 24/7 live chat, served over 1.5 million customers. Again, all of these are done for a reason and induce extra trust. They didn't just wake up one day and then their team was like, all right, we're gonna put served over 1.5 million customers. We're just gonna pull it out of anywhere. So that's not what these big brands do. They really put a lot of time and effort into thinking about these things. But in addition, right below that, to kind of continue this layout of telling us what they sell, we talk about different categories. Then there's the top rated items this week. They stand out by saying this week and not saying like top rated item this year or just top rated item in general. They're being very specific. And here as we continue down, by the way, there's different kinds of things. Like this layout is completely different of the products. It says explore trending handpicked products, and I really like how there's an underline here for some reason. I'm not sure if it's because I'm on it or what, but it looks cool, and it definitely kind of adds a little bit of extra creativity to the brand and the page, also making a customer want to trust it more. But as we continue, as you can see, they put a lot of emphasis on the collections, because again, when you sell a bunch of different collections, that's all you really can do. But they also do have some products in there like recent discoveries, and then we finally get to the end. But again, note how they ended off with get in touch. So all trust inducing factors, both good for Google's end and also for a normal customer. So again, 24/7 live chat, the phone number, the contact email, and also their address. So they have 4 things. Google recommends you add 2 to 3. They have 4 different things that you can actually look into, which again makes Google trust this brand more, and as a result not want to, really suspend them for any reason. So you got to really be thinking about these things when you're making your homepage, and this kind of layout is perfect if you are a brand that sells a lot of different products. But what do you do if you're not a brand like that? You are basically a niche brand, and you need to kind of make sure your brand is based around a niche. Well, in that case, we're gonna look at gymshark.com, because this is a niche specific store. Obviously, they're more related to fitness, but again, you can't learn better than from a billion-dollar brand like this one. And as you can see, right when we land on the homepage, we see different collections, the main collections for this brand. So again, collections really play a big role. Then right below that, we see some kind of trust inducing factor like free standard shipping. This, I would say, even more is about increasing the AOV, not really trust increasing factor. But this one definitely is a trust increasing factor right here. Free returns for now, 30 days. But in addition to that, this kind of homepage image right here, banner image, very clear, very straightforward, just 3 different women, workout clothes. So we already know what this brand is about. And it says new studio, watch me flow, bright colors, zero distancing designs, and a second skin feel. I'm not really sure what that means, but nonetheless, again, introduces kind of creativity to the overall image and talks more about things within the niche, which is, fitness niche. But if we scroll down again, it's talking more about new releases. So now product specific. Then we scroll down, another banner image. So notice how there's more creativity in a niche based store like this compared to Inspire Uplift, which was more like an Amazon store. But again, talks more about a specific type of promotion going on, so more about sales. And then we scroll down, more banner images. So again, all about fitness. There is nothing here about this person like they're just randomly wearing some kind of random jacket. It's all about somebody in action doing the people within that niche do. So you got to keep that in mind when you're kind of selecting your banner images. And notice how real big brands have more banner images rather than just a bunch of products they're just constantly hammering and just throwing out. So very important to do that as well. But if we scroll down again, more banner images, it just never stops. And then we keep on going down, and then they kind of throw in a sprinkle of more products right here. It's talking about women's specific products, and then more banner images, just really keeping things very broad and very creative, which is also something you should be doing as a niche e-commerce store owner. And then they talk about signing up for an email, so they just throw in this little call to action, which you also should be doing, by the way. And then finally we get down to the very end. It's more about just kind of reading about the different options which Gymshark offers. And then at the very end, there's basically the footer menus. That's where things end with Gymshark and the homepage. But throughout this, we saw very limited products. I think in total, we saw about 8 products really getting advertised, 4 at the top and then 4 at the bottom. So notice how Gymshark is doing it on purpose. They spend millions of dollars just testing things like these out. So they're doing this for a reason, and you want to kind of follow suit and make sure, if you're a niche store, to have something very similar. Because when a customer who searches your website on Google comes and lands on this, it really kind of reduces their fear of just shopping with a random website that might be out to scam them, and they really start trusting you more, which is what you want. Because if I were somebody buying something for within this niche, I would definitely already be sold by now, just because I see all of this really creative images, all of this high quality stuff. So you gotta really be following suit as well. But let's move on now to the third brand, which is more on the higher ticket brand, in case you guys also run a high ticket e-commerce brand in a specific niche. And this brand is actually a client e-commerce brand which I used to work with earlier in 2022. So this is a UK based brand which basically sells furniture. So as you can see right from the beginning at the top, first of all, very similar layout to what we saw with Gymshark at the very top, a banner image with main collection stuff at the bottom, at the top with the menus, and then different images. Same thing going on with this brand right here called Sono. So they have a very big banner image, although there's just too much stuff going on. So that's one thing I would actually suggest you don't do, which is kind of make it clear as to what the product is. Here we see this mattress right here. So obviously this store is about mattresses, but again, they do a good job of having some kind of sale here. They have those different collections. They have those specific kind of things at the top which introduce a lot of extra trust. Free fast delivery, 0% pay monthly, 30-day money back guarantee. All important things, by the way, to really make your customer want to trust you. But then here, there's a little bit of more emphasis on products. As you can see, it just right away starts talking about products. But here's the different thing Sono did, which I really liked even in the beginning. They have these Trustpilot reviews rather than those random Luke's reviews or those random other apps which you have. So this really helps Sono stand out from the rest, really kind of pushes this brand's authority forward. Basically, everybody knows about Trustpilot. Whoever shops online, they know that Trustpilot is a very big, real kind of review website, and you can't just kind of make your way by spam or just by paying other people to leave reviews for you. So having Trustpilot reviews really is a good thing, and I recommend you try it out on your homepage as well, because Sono did it, and I personally know because I ran the Google ads for them. They were doing $500,000 or more per month. In fact, I made a video on that back in 2022, early 2022 specifically, regarding Sono. Definitely check that video out. But very simple homepage, just products followed by the collections at the bottom, followed by just a footer menu that is very clean. It just has the address, again, something you should have, the phone number, when it's open, support email, and all of that stuff. So very essential to having a very good home page that is highly converting. And also the Trustpilot reviews, they have over 1,000 reviews, then they make it very bold here that they have that many reviews. And obviously it's going to increase a lot of trust in a potential customer. They are going to easily want to spend 200 pounds on a product like this. But let's now look at a bad example, because again, I know it's easy to learn from a good stores, but what about the bad stores? What should you not be doing? So in this case, we're going to be looking at this brand right here, and this brand is called MidasWellStore.com. Really kind of baffles me, how people come up with store names like these, but whatever the reason that the store owner came up with MidasWellStore.com, we can see they clearly didn't put too much effort into anything they did, including the homepage. So right here, as you saw what happened, when I double clicked, that's when I was able to see the catalog and all of the menu at the top. But like this, what they actually have done is they've made the header menu the color white. All of the text is white, hence why you're not able to even see the header menu at all. So obviously, they might not even know about this, or they don't really care about this, as it looks like. This is gonna really drive their sales down, especially if somebody's on the product page and then they see this, but then they click home for whatever reason and this is what they see. So it's just not giving off good vibes right from the beginning. It's really unprofessional. And overall, there's a photo here, which is something you should have, by the way, a banner image, but it doesn't tell me anything about Midas Well Store. I mean, are these people selling leaves, or are they selling water? I don't know. Like that's how bad this store is. So this makes no sense. There's no reason for them to have this image, and nobody's gonna really spend time reading through this text right here because they already see stuff that makes them not want to buy from the store. But let's say somebody does give them a second chance. We scroll down, now we see beauty essentials, but is that really what they sell? Is that the only thing? So if we scroll down now, we do see that that's pretty much all they sell here. No other products, but again, they don't really do a good job of kind of displaying it here, and there's barely anything going on. So within like 2 scrolls, I'm all the way in the footer menu, and that's really not a good sign because it just shows me that they didn't take any type of extra effort to make this as good as possible. And again, at the very bottom, it just says the email, and it's a Gmail email, so I'm not really gonna be emailing a Gmail email or even shopping here in the first place. So as you can see, these are all thoughts, by the way, a potential customer is going through as they're looking through the homepage. And again, homepage, number 3 most viewed page of all. So that's why it's really essential that you do it right. But essentially, that's pretty much it with this bad brand. I mean, there's no other way we can look through because that's pretty much where it ends. And it's only 2 scrolls. That's how much effort this brand really put into it. But that's pretty much a very bad example. But you want to take this and you want to do the opposite of what this brand is doing. Because again, I can guarantee you this brand is not making a lot of money. But again, really focus on your homepage. Very important page, believe it it or not, you gotta put your time and effort and energy into those pages. But again, if you're doing around $30,000 or more per month in revenue, you need a little bit of extra help scaling your e-commerce brand to the next level, go onto my website at yourmarketing.com and book a free call with me to see how we can possibly work together and make that happen. But if you found any type of value in this video, destroy that like button, destroy that subscribe button, and watch these 2 videos right here in front of my face. That might help you with your Google Ads journey. But I will see you next time.